where you are going to sort of do in your head, I call them the entertaining tools, okay? So the entertaining tools are going to consist of our new little cutters, which I got to tell you I absolutely love, and I am very hard to please. I do like these a lot. I just love the fact that I can just do this, and it's going to just come right out. I like the fact that they're easy to use. You go ahead and twist, all right, and then you're just going to go ahead and line it up and put it on your next thing, and you're ready to go, okay? So they're very easy to do. We have done cheese trays at a show. I said, I know what you're thinking, guys, like, you know, what am I doing with all the trimmings of the cheese? That stuff's going into a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to be using that next time I'm making tacos, next time I'm making, macaroni, exactly, so don't throw them away. They do work really well for fruit, but it's very hard when you think about it. They do great on watermelon. That's my favorite thing to do with them, because cantaloupe and honeydew, they're not, when you cut your slices, there's not enough area to work with. Even if you use the smallest one, you know, you're getting them, but it's not worth it. If you have a lot of, you're going to have a lot of melon left over, okay? But this is really cute. I've used them for cookies. I made shortbreads, little perfect, they're adorable. So I do like this. I do like this a lot, but it does make a beautiful cheese board. It really is very, very cute. With this, though, I'm going to call it the entertaining part of this, are going to go into the cheese knife. Now, I don't know if any of you realize that you should never really have metal with your cheese. It sort of gives it off flavor. So all of my cheese knives that I have home are either made out of teak, the special nylon materials and stuff, because it doesn't react with the acid in the cheese. So these ridges are not there to be decorative. These are if you're doing perfect slices of something. And there's cheeses that you crumble with our little wedge, the crumbler, and there's cheeses that you slice. So if you're doing on a cheese board, you're going to put out a block, say maybe of like Jarlsberg or, you know, the Swiss or something. This is where you're going to use the slicer. That is not going to crumble. That is not, a soft cheese will never crumble. If you've ever had a really hard time cutting a brie because the cheese sticks to the knife, with the ridges, the brie is going to come away beautifully from the knife. So if you're doing brie in a little phyllo cup, all I do is come in, I slice up my little chunks, I go in there, clean, smooth, drop them in, and you're off and running. So think of the cheeses you're offering on, and then this is where now, when these came out, my cheese board went right back into play into my kit. Okay, and they buy the cheese board, they're walking out with one or two of these. Okay, the crumbler one, you know, the square one, that one is for any cheese that will crumble, from a Stilton to a blue cheese to a gorgonzola to a chunk of Parmesan. The Parmesan is your lowest fat and lowest calorie cheese that you can eat. And normally you eat it grated, but if you eat it as a chunk, it's known for being very nutty. The flavor is very nutty. So it's beautiful if you're doing a cheese board on a large bamboo platter, guys. Have a block of the Parmesan or the Romano there for people who are watching their salt intake and watching their calories. And have the crumbler. But right next to them, you want to have dried figs or dried dates and a bunch of fresh grapes. Those complement Parmesan or Romano cheese beautifully. So if they eat them in conjunction with each other, the flavor is amazing. But you have a low-fat cheese on the cheese board on this beautiful bamboo platter. Okay? And these are, and then, you know, now, I tell them this for slicing up lasagna. So if you don't want to grate it for slicing up cheese mozzarella for lasagna, you don't want to grate it. This slices beautifully to slay them out. You're done. You're out the door. Okay.
What was the price difference in a crumbler?
$7 a pound.
$7 a pound.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you go to the store and you want to, like my husband and my children love my country fried steak. And so if I go and buy a cube steak, they're charging me $5.99 a pound. If I go buy an eye-round roast, the cheapest cut of roast, and it's got no fat on it, it's a you know, that one, I'm only paying $2.99 a pound for the roast, and I'm going to get 4 times the amount of that one package of cube steak. That's where my meat tenderizer and my cutting board come into play. I make my own cube steak every single time. I never buy it, because you're getting rocked. Okay? So these are things that you want to share with people. If, like, I go, how many of you go to the store and you actually buy the pre-sliced cheddar cheese in a little container? I mean, how much money do you have, or how lazy are you? Yeah. Okay? I said, our egg slicer is beautiful for that. Buy the block, cut it into cubes this way, put it in the egg slicer, come down very gently. You have perfect slices of cheddar cheese, Monterey Jack, Colby. Okay? If you're doing a tomato and basil mozzarella salad, the egg slicer is a beautiful thing for fresh slices of mozzarella. Okay, so don't go buying, it's gonna be nice and uniform, and you try to slice special mozzarella, one looks good, the other one's fat on the top, skinny on the bottom, or in my case, fat all over. Okay, so what you wanna do here is just put it right there, uniformity, and there's nothing wasted, okay? So this is why that all goes into play with each other, okay? But don't disregard these because they're inexpensive. They are really very, very, very good cheese knives, okay?
What did you use that with lasagna?
The mozzarella. Any cheese that you would slice or grate, this is the knife you use for. Any cheese that you would crumble into something, feta, chev, which is the goat cheese, you need the other knife. Makes the job really, really easy. So when you got your beautiful cheese board on either the cheese board that we sell or the big bamboo platter, which I use for my cheese board, but I do my cheese board, honestly, and I tell them this, on our big bamboo carving board. That makes the most beautiful presentation. So when I cater, I have 4 of those bowls. That's what all my cheese trays and vegetable crudités are on the bamboo cutting board. And the carving boards. They're like, oh my God, I would never have thought of that. It's beautiful. Okay? So this way,
Use the carving board? That's a heavy one.
They get the visual, and they're going to consider it.
Yeah.
Okay? But they can do the same thing with our beautiful bamboo platter, which is one of my biggest sellers. So you want to cross
Are you
out.
bringing the cracker tray with you too?
I do. Yeah, oh yeah, I always do. I have a cracker tray, 2 of the bamboo small bowls, the ladles, the spoons are always in my kit, and I do a whole bamboo display because people love a collection.
Yeah.
And they're light. They're not gonna be too much weight down there. I'll come back to these in a minute, guys. Okay. So this is what you want to do. So what I want you to start thinking is you want to do groupings. Okay. If you're doing a cocktail party, you want to talk about cocktail parties. You're going to do all the groupings there. If you're talking about entertaining, you're going to do a grouping with a bamboo platter, the cheese knives on there. Just talk about it. Okay. But it becomes a trigger in your head. Okay. If you do things by groupings. So you can be very general. So let's say you have a grouping here, just pick one item you love about it and say, guys, check out everything else. It's all made to go together. So you don't have to talk about every single item in the grouping, but you want the visual. Like you would never go into Williams-Sonoma or Crate Barrel where things that go together are not together. Like I'm not going to go look at a cookie sheet over here and go oi over there to find the scoop. They're always in the same general area. So that's what people expect. They don't want to have to. What I do is I look at the catalog and I take the pages and see which ones that I make my own groupings, but rotate them out.
And then they're going to look at the catalog and see that
Everything goes
things
together.
that aren't there.
Exactly.
So you don't do all the groupings at one time?
No, you're not listening. I rotate things out.
Yeah,
I don't want anybody to come in and say, oh, I have this. Okay? Because.
Saw that at your last show.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because they know, my people, they know, they say, oh, Pchefleah, I have been known to, honestly, if I want to promote cookware shows, and I'm tired of talking about the skillet and the grill pan, which to me are I bring the stock pot. When they see this, they're like, oh my God, I eat a pot, that's awesome. And it's a big thing on the table, so it draws your eyes right to the cookware. Do I do it all the time? No, I do it only when I want to really promote the cookware month. So I put the stock pot there, it was beautiful, I've been using it forever, it still looks new out of the box. And I put the white ceramic 10-inch pan, the 8-inch executive pan. So I'm sort of showing them, the different, you want to be versatile. And they'll book because they see that thing costs $200 some odd. They want that stock pot. Okay? I know it sounds silly, like why would you bring that? I'm not concerned, oh, it's heavy. I'm concerned is what is going to get you to book a show with me. Okay? Because I'm not bringing in my own stuff. I never unload my own car. Excuse me. No. I'm a delicate flower. All right, now. This is
Do
going
the
to go.
stainless steel sauce pot or
The big stock pot.
Just bring that
12-quart
in.
stock pot.
stainless sauce pot?
Yeah.
No,
Executive.
And then you have the stainless and then the ceramics. Are you showing all 3?
No, I'm
You
talking
bring
about
ceramic
the big
stain.
mega one.
She'll
I'm
talk
talking
about
the-
the stainless. but
Yeah, I
she's
talk
just
about
gonna
bring
You don't bring the stainless.
I don't because you know what? Most of the average cooks we deal with are not going to spend that kind of money anyways.
I got a lot of them.
It is not, stainless, as a chef, that is all I use.
Right.
But anything that goes into my oven is always in stainless. Anything that I'm cooking on the pot is always in executive. Anything I need a quick saute on is going to go ceramic. And that's what you want to tell people. That's why you want to mix it up. Do not buy a complete set of anything. Pick and choose the products you need. Okay, you don't need to have it all matching set of cookware, but who would not want a stock pot this big for a huge batch of chili or a huge batch of
Mine
soup?
was bigger.
okay? But no one's gonna pay full price for it.
16.
I agree.
Because if they come up and they say to me, oh my God, if they buy that, I didn't order for them, and it's honest to God truth, I go, I'm sorry, you need to go back and sit down, find another $200 of products you want, because we're gonna have a show and you're getting that for free, okay? And because they trust me, my customers trust me. And they know that if I bring something out, it is something that I love and use in my own kitchen, okay? Now, this is gonna go right with your cocktail area, okay? For your gherkins, for your pearl onions, for your martini olives, okay? It's
Cherries.
also, but it's also gonna go into your baking area. Why?
Get the cherries out of the cherry jar.
It's gonna get everything
I tried
that
to
you
get
need.
the cherries
Right,
out. And
no,
I was
this
like,
is,
oh, I should
now,
have brought my
this is my, yeah, it always gets the cherries out of there beautifully. Whether they're, you know, the cherry pie filling and you're doing, you only want the cherries for the cheesecake, or if you're doing, where you want the maraschino cherries have to come out of there to go on to the top of something. The little pointer is great, you know, for, I love this because we, you know.
What are they calling
What is
it?
that called?
What is that?
spear and scoop.
Spear and scoop.
It's
Scoop and
before.
Scoop and
No.
spear.
So this is, you know, so this is, we love it because in our family, being Arabic, we live on olives. So it's a wonderful olive, you know, all my jars, you know, I have we would do a special thing with our olives, so you reach in and pluck the olive and leave the oil and garlic back behind. This is great. Very multiple use for this one. You can use this for anything. You can put it on your cheese tray. It is perfect for that, for cubes of cheese. You can
And then
go
it
ahead,
cuts
you
the
can have
olives
like
with it too.
what's really cool is this other end, if you're having like a fig spread on your cheese board, it's perfect. It's not going to fall through. It's fig, it's thick, but that's a great way to put that onto your cheese as well. This is a very versatile little piece. It really, truly is. It really, truly is. I do want to share with you a great tip. I want to go back to ice buckets for a minute, guys, because you want to start bringing these products into play right now for Mother's Day and Father's Day and graduation parties, communions. They need ice buckets, okay? When you set up your ice bucket display, your cocktail bar, right there should be this one item that I can guarantee you none of you talk about sell, and that is our stainless steel steamer, okay? It is the best thing because how many times have you filled up an ice bucket, right? And you come back and the ice are floating and all the water at the bottom, okay? So what you do is that thing, take the stainless steamer, drop it into your ice bucket, fits it perfectly, the ice stays on top, and as the ice starts to melt, the water's underneath, the ice is not gonna melt into the water, okay? So those two better.
It floats.
That's so brilliant.
Yeah, no, Jenny.
You know you're freak out.
Okay, if the thing is floating, you've been left the ice alone for way too long. No,
I
no,
love that
it's our
steamer.
stainless steel steamer, and it fits from a 2-quart saucepan all the way to a 12-inch skillet. So it fits right into the ice bucket.
Never
It's got
thought
the
of
little
that.
Ripper feet, sits right there, put in your ice, okay, and the ice is never gonna be touching the water,
I never thought of that.
okay? This is what I try to do, guys.
And if you want to
I
pour
need
out the
to
water, you
show
just pull that up
you know,
and
right,
pour
and
the
then
water
you go,
out.
Right,
Good is that?
exactly.
It's awesome.
Okay?
Never thought of that.
It just makes when you're entertaining a little less
Genius.
messy. I know, right? Well, this is what I try to do. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm cocky or anything, but I can sell products.
You
What I'm
can.
really creative about, I take pride in that, is the fact that I think outside the box. I mean, you don't have the average customer order that I have by selling them the same things over and over again, okay? You need to, we have an amazing product line, but I can guarantee you right now, those of you who don't even have half of those products on display. You totally
Right.
disregard them.
And she's
Okay,
my
how many
director.
bags
You bring.
I bring a lot of, I do bring a lot of products. Do I bring them all in? No. I have my bag of the month, which is the featured products for the month, which is, but not this month, next month. So you always want to have the featured bag of the month. So what's coming up for us in May is crap, okay? So it's in a very little bag, okay? You know, no, this is this month, honey. Keep up, Jen. Keep up. You may be brilliant, but keep up. Okay, this month is your stainless steel bowls. This month is your deep covered baker, the grill pan set. That was last month
Oh,
that I
got
was
it.
promoting.
Now
Okay,
it's all
this
those
month
bags.
is all the help with cancer stuff. Okay, coming up next month is May, so that's all in that bag. And then things that would make beautiful Mother's Day gifts, which is going to be those. Okay, so those go together. That's a grouping. Now, when I go to shows now, this is full. Now, what's in this bag? All the new products.
Perfect.
And including the 3 bags that we also sell. That is all the new products go into that, fit in there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, so, moving on. I'm just trying to give you different ideas for things, coming out of the holiday season. All right, this